Hi, this is Riaz from Networks Learning. Welcome to Cisco Next Generation Firewall Training. In this video, we will take a look at security intelligence implementation. Basically, we will implement security intelligence based on the IP address or the network. Uh, Let me show you the security intelligence tab inside the access control policy. So let me navigate to access control. Access control policy. Inside access control policy, we have a rules tab and we have a security intelligence tab. Inside the security intelligence tab, we can define whitelist and blacklist of the networks and the subnets and the IP addresses. The whitelist addresses are always take precedence over the blacklist. So in our lab environment, we will configure a network object and we will add it into the block list or blacklist, and then from the LAN we will initiate the traffic against the IP address, and we will take a look at how FTD responds to that request and how FTD behaves when a malicious traffic is coming on its interface. So this is my topology. My client machine is connected on this switch, and these switches are connected to the firewall inside interface, and firewall outside interface is connected to the edge router, and edge router is connected to my physical router, which in this case is this router. This is MikroTik router, and over here I have an IP address of 192.168.88.1, which is reachable from my inside LAN IP LAN machine. Let me show you. This is my LAN machine, and let me have a ping response for you. Here you can see I am able to get 192.168.88.1. So at firewall, I'm saying that this IP address of 192.168.88.1 is a malicious IP, or you can say it's a IP that should not be allowed on the network, and it should be blocked. So I will add this into the block list and will initiate traffic from LAN and will check what happens on the FTD. So I think so I have already created no, RGS physical router. This is the IP address. So I will add this into the block list, add to the block list IP address. So N is on and it's 192.168.88.1, and we will enable the logs as well. This is for URLs and this is for networks. For networks you can add over here, and URLs are added over here. You can also block the URLs. In the second video I will cover the URL blocking for security intelligence, but in this video we are only concentrating on the network side, blocking the IP addresses. So for networks the logs are enabled, and okay, here we go. So in the pre-filter policy, we used the same network IP address for the pre-filter policy in RGS pre-filter policy. So I will revert back the pre-filter policy to the default one, which in this case is the default filter pre-filter policy, because we have configured 192.168.88.1 in our pre-filter policy. So if we have RGS pre-filter policy containing 192.168.88.1, the traffic will be fast path without going to further inspection and without going to security intelligence not engine. So I will revert pre-filter policy to default one, and I have added that IP address of the physical router into the blacklist or block list IP address. Let me click on save, and then go to deployment. Here you can see access control policy, pre-filter policy, both are modified. So let me deploy and revert back. Once the deployment is completed, we will check with the results. So the deployment is completed, and we can now check the results by initiating the traffic for the destination IP address, which is considered as a malicious IP address, and it is added to the block list at FTD. So here is the policy, access control policy, and inside access control policy we have a security intelligence. Inside security intelligence we have block list, and we have added the RGS physical router 192.168.88.1 to the blacklist. So we can initiate traffic. First we need to the best practice is to clear the connections at FTD. Clear connection all. So it will clear all the connections. So let me initiate the traffic, and from the source client machine from the LAN T8.1 192.168.88.1. We are unable to get the response from this IP address because it is considered as a blacklist IP on FTD. So it can be verified from analysis, connections, events, as well as security events. This is the connection table. So initiator IP is this, and I'm unable to see the logs actually for the it's blocking 10.12.1.50 going to 8.8.8. Ingress security zone is outside, and I'm going outside. So let me go to the security intelligence, and at security intelligence I am unable to see any log for that traffic. So let me check with the firepower over here, and this one. Since I am unable to get the ping response, you can also check at access control, and let me check the DNS networks, log connections. Okay, connection logging is also enabled. Okay, analyze head counts. There is no head count. Actually it should be there, at least the connection or the security connection events. And there is no blockage. Let me move on to the page number 2. No, there is nothing. At the same time, there is nothing. So moving back on page number 1. Since I am not getting logs, what over here is static. At my clock, the time is not what I am getting over here. Actually, the reason why I am not able to see the logs, this is the reason. 14, 20, 55 and 14, 21, 53. Actually now is 22. Is now 22. Let's apply and check the logs. I hope. Okay. The issue was with the duration of the logs that I was seeing over here. The time duration selected over here was not included with current timings of the logs. I have slided the window to the current time so that I can get all the logs for entire time, entire duration of my activity. So you can see over here, this the reason is IP block. The initiator is 10.12.1.100. Let me show you in the security intelligence events. In security intelligence events, we can get into more details of the packet. So we have the timestamp over here. First packet, action is block, the reason is IP block, initiator is 10.12.1.100, responder is 192.168.88.1 in this case. And security intelligence category is RES physical router. Let me show you this one over here. This is the tag that it is portraying in the logs traffic logs RES physical router. Okay. Ingress security zone is inside, outside, and the source port is ICMP and destination is ICMP also. And access control policy is RGS campus ACP. Pre-filter policy is default pre-filter. Device and rest of the parameters are shown over here. So this is how you can configure security intelligence for IP addresses or for networks. This is one of the way, and this is not more granular. It completely blocks an IP address. And in today's world, there are multiple machines, multiple applications being deployed behind a public IP address. You can have a single public IP address, and you can map it to multiple web servers, multiple web applications. So blocking complete IP address does not provide you the granular security with respect to the current environments. Therefore, we can involve URL filtering, and we can involve other category based filtering in order to differentiate and have a granular security control over the applications and over the network servers. Again, moving on to the access control policy, then we have security intelligence. Inside the security policy, resume editing. Okay, security intelligence. Here you can also add the URLs. Now we added the networks. In next video we will cover the URLs, and we will see how we can implement the URL testing in the lab environment, in our environment. So thank you so much for watching my videos.